joining us today. You have the floor.
As Dr. Tedros has just told us, each week for the past 10 weeks, we've seen increases in COVID cases worldwide. Last week was one of the worst, with nearly 5.7 million new confirmed cases reported and over 93,000 new deaths. And with many communities, healthcare centers in India, Brazil, and elsewhere simply overburdened, overwhelmed, and under-resourced, we are at this critical moment in the fight against COVID-19. And we are face to face with this unanswerable truth that no one is safe anywhere till everyone is safe everywhere, and no country can finally be COVID-free until every country is COVID-free. And for his repeated and accurate warnings to us, and for his impassioned leadership, I want to praise my friend Dr. Tedros and his brilliant staff, and all those across the world who through ACT Accelerator and COVAX are working for vaccine equity. For while the near majority of US citizens and the majority of UK citizens have already received one COVID shot, in hard-hit India, just 10% have been vaccinated. And months since the vaccine became available, less than 1% of sub-Saharan Africa. And this is a man-made catastrophe, because while it took 9 months to reach 1 million deaths when we had no vaccine, in only 4 months since we've had a vaccine, we reached 2 million deaths, and in only 3 months since, 3 million deaths. 1 in 2 vaccinated in much of the West, less than 1 in 100 in sub-Saharan Africa. By our failure to extend vaccination more rapidly to every country, we are choosing who lives and who dies. And I say the world is already too deeply divided between rich and poor to allow a new unbridgeable divide to become entrenched between the world's vaccinated who live and the unvaccinated who are at risk of dying. And it's not only the poor who suffer, all of us do. The longer the poorer countries go unshielded, the more the disease will continue to spread, mutate, and threaten not just poor countries, but rich countries too, including the already vaccinated. So this is a global problem that needs the globally coordinated solution Dr. Tedros has just mentioned. To protect ourselves locally, we need to act globally, with a concerted and immediate push to mass vaccinate the world underwritten by the richest countries to help the poorest, and not as an act of charity, but as a matter of national security for each of us as the best insurance policy in the world. For the words of President John Kennedy, spoken 60 years ago, ring even truer today. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. Now, the miracle that is science has given us multiple vaccines, and assisted by licensing agreements and I hope a temporary patent waiver as proposed by People's Vaccine Alliance, manufacturing can be ramped up in every continent soon. But I want to address the biggest question the poorest countries still have no answer to. Who will pay? The cost to a low-income country is prohibitive. The double vaccine at $10 can be an entire week's income for a family. But for our richer countries, the bill for mass vaccinating the world and ensuring access also to tests and treatments is affordable. A total of around $30 billion a year. If spread across the richest countries, means just 25 cents a week per citizen. And it is money we cannot afford not to spend. For mass vaccination is not just an epidemiological and ethical imperative, it's an economic imperative. For if the cost of vaccines is in billions, the overall savings is in trillions. Trillions of additional economic output made possible when trade resumes in a COVID-free world. Helping vaccinate the rest of the world will cost America up to $7 billion a year. And that's less than 0.5% of the cost of its $2 trillion economic stimulus. And yet the resumption of trade and economic activity that a virus-free world makes possible in 2021 alone will be worth 10 times as much to America. Now, I want to pay tribute to the ACT Accelerator and COVAX. It has raised $14 billion for tests, treatments, vaccines, and PPE. It's signed up 190 countries to COVAX. It has mass secured nearly 2 billion vaccines for the 92 poorest countries. And it sends a message that when it comes to preventing loss of life, we cannot rely on charity alone, but need a systematic plan that does not force us to choose between who lives and who dies. But ACT-A has yet to raise 19 billion this year, and will need more if we can ramp up manufacturing even more quickly. And in total, over 2 years, we need to raise an estimated $60 billion, not only to cover vaccines, research, production, and distribution to 92 lower income countries, but help pay for vital medical supplies, diagnostics, and medical oxygen currently and shamefully in short supply in India and elsewhere, as Every Breath Counts has shown. Now, based on ability to pay, and that's a formula that takes into account national income, current wealth, and benefits from the resumption of trade, America would pay 27% of the cost, Europe 23%, the UK 5%, Japan 6%, Korea and Australia, who will attend the G7, and Canada 2% each. And I say to the G7, the forum that brings together the world's richest countries, you have the power and the ability to pay for nearly 2/3 of the costs and secure a historic breakthrough by agreeing an equitable burden-sharing formula that could cover global health provision. And you can expand IFM with grants for low-income countries and create guaranteed.
Welcome back, family. Praises to the Most High YAH, giving him honor and glory. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Greetings, greetings, family. YAH Royals. Coming back with another video, an update on the status in reference to the coronavirus. What I want to share at this point is what you heard earlier was the different officials of WHO, which they are ones that are on the forefront in this whole pandemic, which they're sharing, different insights. But I just want to draw your attention to back what was said. It was said earlier that each week for the past 10 weeks, it has been shown increases of the COVID-19. The last week was the worst they have seen since the pandemic, which they hit 5.7 million new confirmed cases worldwide, and also over 93,000 new deaths. And now in India and Brazil is at a higher, of course, percentage of that lineup. So they have the highest percentage as of this day. I want to say, when we're looking at it from day to day, these other countries have really fall off from being high, like, for instance, America. So it just brings me to a place to say, really, from what they are saying, the people of the WHO officials organization, what they're saying, it doesn't add up with the numbers that I really see on a daily basis of these different countries, and definitely for America. So I just want to draw your attention to the daily new cases, and you can see where they would consider the curve, where it went down around, I want to say, March timeline, and then it went back up around April. So that is in that window of when they said they saw 5.7 new cases confirmed, and that was within the past week. Okay, but they've seen an increase in the past 10 weeks, according to what was said. Okay, so right here below here is the deaths. So even like I say, I'm not seeing such a great impact, or far as lower, because it's been up higher, around the timeline of December, somewhat February. It went down a little bit in March, and then it went back up to over 15,000 in the past, I want to say, week. But according to the WHO officials, they're saying that is the worst that they have seen. So the number's not adding up, as I have said before. The number's not adding up to what they are saying. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, because when I go down further down the page, you're going to see that America right now, what you see, and this is as of 1:56 p.m. India is showing close to 300,000 new cases, which we know India is being impacted. It's been this way for almost 7 to 10 days. But look at America, okay? Just check them out. Look at the new cases, and then as you scan across here, let's look at the new deaths. Now it's going on since the timeline closed out was around 9 p.m. on last night. So this is all what has happened in America. But this number has been dropping, for some time now, for I want to say the last week or two, right? So I want to just draw your attention around here where it says, over here where it says total tests. So remember, America is continuously to move up in the tests. What could impact the tests to make tests increase or, be at a steady movement? Well, if someone is sick, they go in, they get tested, okay? If they get tested, then they come back where it's positive, then they possibly can get another retest. But I know personally someone who worked for and within the medical field have said that they were told that they did not need to take a second test to say that, they were okay, because that timeline of it being in their system for 2 weeks, and it can tell basically by your temperature and so forth that if you have gotten better. So anyway, family, from the amount of tests, I want to keep harping on this, because from the amount of tests that America is doing, this flux of people not traveling out, towards, other international countries, because a lot of countries are shut down to whatever degree in so many ways. It could be open up, but for that many people to be traveling, for you to get over 1 million tests a day, okay, over 1 million, close to 2 million a day, and you got this from people traveling outside international, because when I look to see if they are, informing ones have to take tests to fly domestic, they don't. So let me get an account for that. So this is an account of COVID-19 safety. I just pulled this up just yesterday, and it says that this is the only requirement to fly, domestic within the United States. It says you must, of course, wear a mask, enhance cleaning, protocol, and reduce amenity cabin service. So we're over 2 million tests is being taken a day for ones traveling out of the United States, or one repeating far as taking a second test to say I'm okay. Even if we do that for the amount of people, let me go back there. Okay, even if we do the amount of people for America who have said, over 33 million people have contracted or have been given a positive reading on a test. So you double that, okay? So you double that and put that number, subtracting from the actually 449 million, you still got all that many numbers of millions and millions and millions that are not accounted for. Even if you say, well, someone has traveled or whatnot, and they're traveling, so they need the test. That's just far out there, family. And for the WHO people to actually say what they're saying and how they feel that they have hit the worst since the beginning of the pandemic, that's just last week. No, it's more to it, family. So, which, makes sense to me from the spiritual side of things, because the plagues are here. But to see now that you see the United States, of course, you see India, you see Brazil, you see how, all the numbers are, actually coming in lower, right? Let's look at yesterday number. Okay. All right. So this yesterday number. So America came in at 30,701 new cases. That is like one of the lowest numbers since pretty much the top of last year. Not this year, but the top of last year when the virus came out, you might saw 30,000 new cases. So it's like these other countries, just check them out. Other than India, all of them are like really dropping, but But according to the WHO officials, they're concerned because last week was the last 10 days was, alarming to them. And the last week was alarming to them. And, they're concerned, right? So it doesn't add up, family. So it's like, I know they have the G7 where they will go and they will meet up the different countries, and they're hoping to bring forth however, to be all on one accord in reference to this. And if you recall early in the video, they said that America, far as on the spectrum of one of the highest amount of COVID, these vax has been given compared to sub-Saharan only at 1%. They made sure they made that known. And they tried to say disproportionately that because they're considered poor countries, that they're not, one's not being fair to them. So they need to make sure that they're fair to them by giving them the vax. But truthfully is that they have one of the really low percentage, because from proof, they're living, I don't want to say their best life, but they're living their best life because the plague's not there, because the mass of our people are there, and the Most High have judged us accordingly. Now it has fallen on our enemies, and they are seeing the what? The brunt of it. Okay, so let's go to Africa. And I want to just point this out. We see South Africa because a lot of people outside of our nation is there. But when you start looking down to these other places where our people at, family, we're not being impacted. You understand? You understand? Okay. Now, this is coming from today. I want to say, let me look at it from, that's yesterday. Let's look at it from 2 days ago. Okay. Still yet you see new cases. And I'm just going to slide over there to see the deaths. Slide over so you can see the countries. Are people not being impacted like that? You imagine you have millions of people, only 17 people out of the whole day contracted the virus, so they say. And like I said, it's proof in the pudding. Now, America, you probably can, show videos and people out, and you, as you drive through your cities and your town, and they're out and, one wearing masks and da-da-da. But in Africa, it's not like that, family. Let me get an account, give you a little bit idea. So this is Mark Meets Africa. This is someone who's over there.
Well.
And just check out the people, family. This was a day ago.
And interview number 2 with Go Black to Africa is underway.
Just check it out, family. These people are living their best life. Not best, because it's not best until the Most High redeem us fully. I just want to show you all. You think if the virus is there like that, you think our people will be out there walking like that? But family, just look. I know that his camera not that. But this is a young man who went over about 8 months ago. He so impressive. He have learned a lot of the language. He among the natives, and there, and he just just there living, and enjoying and doing different business adventures and stuff. Just look, family.
We went to KFC. We're just waiting for the food.
Yeah, so KFC.
Far, so good.
So there go Black to Africa. So I wanted to come back on. So these two are there in Tanzania. Look at there, no mask, family. They're from America. They live in there. He had brought 2 or 3 properties there. Mark is doing his thing. Look at our family. They living their best life. But when the Most High redeem us, we gonna be able to say we living our best life. Look at there. Another one that from America there.
Hello everyone. Taking Mark over to the shop here.
Family. These people, this is what they don't want to see. I mean, thank you, Tata. Give you all the honor and glory. Family, please understand. These are the products there. And he's also a business person also. So they doing it up over there, family.
Yeah. And the famous Jamaican castor oil. Bonnets, do-rags.
Yeah, so I'm gonna trying to find one where he's more out there walking in the mist. So another account. This is Mark still out. So I will leave his link. Y'all can subscribe to him if you haven't. Oh, this is Zanzibar, and I know he's kind of walking behind them. But look, family. This is in Zanzibar. He was in Tanzania this moment. Dar es Salaam. I say he was maybe at that. Because Gold Black be all over the place as well. Gold Black to Africa. That's a cute catch there. Look at our people. Just look at them, family. Just look. See anybody falling out in the streets? You see they worried about anything? No, family. The Most High got us. You understand? Now, ones who not, in the right path or whatever, however he could do it, family, he could bring judgment on our people. But for the mass part of the family, our judgment was when they came and got us. When they came and got us and took us, Father, weakened us, took our might away from us. Now it's time for us to rise back. So it's their fall, so they're now experiencing what we experienced. Look here, look at our people. I don't know if he's going to. Just look at our people. They were living their best life. And when Tata comes back and redeem us, we can be living our best life. Hallelujah. Look at our people. Look at them, family. You see out there, anybody, have you seen that with a mask on so far? Have you? And I know this, 2 areas I've shown, but you can go to Hades, you can go any of the places, Jamaica, Bahamas. When people go on vacations there, they so happy they ain't wearing no mask. And people tell them, basically when they even got to Africa, they said, you can go ahead and take off your mask. Ain't no this there, but So the difference between having with understanding about this plagues, Father has it to whereas how this is panning out because it's in our deliverance. Why he's weakening these other nations, and other nations are people who make up a bloodline that make up a nation, and there were ones that took us, who have been ruling over us, who have been benefit from ruling over us. Then they in that lineup that they could be judged. Point blank. Period. So I just wanted to share this with you, family. Give you the Most High all the honor and glory. I'll be back on as the Most High give me leadway. Hallelujah unto his holy name. Glory, Tata. Hallelujah. One day soon we're going to be finished with this, family. Father going to put us back in our rightful place, and we're going to be able to be what? In a manner where we will have a moral compass and be that light to the world. Hallelujah.